All right, this is episode 2 of our podcast. We couldn't get it out before the game started, but you know it's fine. It's fine. We have the whole season.
Yeah, we got AFC Edition for you today. I actually made my picks before the game started. Conrad's got them up here, and so gonna be a man of integrity and follow that. Conrad, I don't know how much I can trust you or not, but at the same time, it's only been 1 week.
Okay, yeah. So maybe Bijan did do well this week. But we don't talk about that, but yeah. Okay, you want to get started?
Yeah. So how'd your fantasy football week go this week, Conrad?
So T. Higgins got 8 targets and 0 catches. Let's see. Njoku got 4 yards. Cam Akers got like 10 yards and a touchdown. So it went pretty great. I won my game.
I think I beat you by 50.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was about 50.
I didn't see that.
Anyway, so
okay, yeah.
Let's see. Where do you want to start for the AFC? What division do you want to start?
I think we start with probably the most boring one, the South.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So number 4, I don't think there's any doubt. It's probably gonna be the Texans.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I don't know. C.J. Stroud hasn't been doing so hot. I'm still gonna give him some time because obviously he's a rookie in a bad system. But like just saying like he's not gonna change the team's trajectory this year.
All right. Here's what I think. I think the team got a lot better with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson in the draft over the summer. I do think that this team has improved from last season. However, I still think they finished 4th, and I still think they probably finish last or around last out of the 16 teams in the AFC overall.
No, yeah, I agree with you. They just don't have the players.
They'll be better, but their record won't reflect that this year.
Where would you put him? I'd put him at 3-14.
Okay. I got 4-13.
That's fair. It's kind of similar. Could go either way.
I'd say a 4 for them would be like probably 2-15.
Yeah.
I'd say a ceiling for them maybe 6-11, 7-10 if you want to get.
I would not say 6-11. I'd say 5-12.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, who do you got finishing 3rd in the division?
I got the Colts, I think.
Okay.
Actually, it's kind of close. Oof. I'm changing my opinion. I don't know. You know what? I got the Titans. I'm staying.
Okay.
I'm believing in Anthony Richardson for now.
Okay.
But technically, this is supposed to be before he played in the NFL. But just based on last night's game, the fact that he did pretty well, I'm putting.
Oh, you had that originally, so I'll give you that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So what do you think the record's gonna be for the Tennessee Titans in 3rd place?
Well, it's still basically just Derrick Henry. Let's be real here. There's not much else on their team.
They just signed DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I know, but like, who are they gonna have throw to him? Ryan Tannehill?
Will Levis?
Yeah, Mayo guy isn't gonna be good. He sucks. I don't like Mayo guy. There's a reason he dropped to the 2nd round. But still, I don't know.
That's fair.
I don't know. I think Derek's gonna carry them to a couple wins, but I'm putting them. I'd say their floor this year is maybe 6-11.
Okay.
I'd say their ceiling would be. I think their ceiling's 9-8, but that's like a high ceiling.
Okay. For me, I changed it up a bit. I did some revision from what I originally had. So I originally had the Colts at 8-9 in 2nd, and the Titans at 6-11, and then I made my last-minute exemption there and changed it up. Unbiased before the games. I said this. I don't know if I said it to you, but take me as a man of my word. So I have them both at 7-10, basically tying for 2nd place in that division. I think ultimately I'll go with, if I have to pick one, I'll pick the Titans for 2nd and the Colts for 3rd.
Okay.
I think, with the Titans and the way they're constructed, Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the league. I think he's a top 10 coach. He's not obviously Belichick or Andy Reid, but I think he's a good coach. And
Reid's got nothing about it.
Okay, and then I agree. And then the next thing I would say is they have both Derrick Henry and they have DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to help open up their offense after they traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles. That hurt their offense. So now that they have DeAndre Hopkins, I think that's going to help open things back up for them in the passing attack this year. So I could see them going like 7-10 for a floor for them. I feel like I want to say 5-12, but honestly, I think you might think this is too high. I might say 6-11 out of respect for Vrabel and the talent that they have.
That's what I said is their floor.
Okay, sorry. And then the ceiling, I don't know. Maybe they could go on a run and get to 10-7, but the AFC is pretty loaded.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just think that like with a talented head coach, a still elite running back, I'd put him at. I'd maybe put him in top 3, definitely top 5. We still got at least a top 5 running back, and D Hop he's maybe not elite anymore, but he's still very good. With those weapons, even if you have Ryan Tannehill, you're gonna get a decent amount of wins.
I agree. So for the Colts, I pretty much have the same thing, but I think I'll lower their floor a little bit. I could see them 5-12 with the whole Jonathan Taylor situation. I just think, I don't know. I think Richardson's going to be good. I said, right after the draft, I thought he was going to be good just because how much of a dual threat he is and how strong he is. So I'll say like 5-12 as a floor, 10-7 also as a ceiling. And, we could see what'll happen with that team. They still got Michael Pittman, and there's a huge if with Jonathan Taylor there coming back towards the end of the season.
No, I agree with you, but I think that with Richardson, Jonathan Taylor wasn't going to matter as much as he has in past years. Because, Richardson, let's be real here, he has the potential to be a good passer, but his passing isn't as developed as many other quarterbacks. He's still going to be mainly on the ground this year. So I think that I think he'll be effective. I think Michael Pittman will be effective. He did really well in week 1.
Yep.
And I'd put their floor, I'd put them at 6-11, and I think I could see them maybe squeaking out 10-7 if Richardson develops through the year.
We're about at the same place.
Yeah,
then.
I think so. And then the Jags, what are you thinking? I'm putting them, I think, at 11-6.
That's what I also have. So for ceiling, I think 12-5. For a floor, 9-8.
I think I'd put them in a smaller floor and ceiling. I think their ceiling's 11-6. I think their floor is probably 10-7. Because I don't see them losing a lot of games to this division.
I agree with that. I think their division certainly makes it easier for them.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, we've seen how that worked out. It was a huge growth year last year for Trevor Lawrence. Now that he has Doug Peterson, who's a Super Bowl champion head coach, going from Urban Meyer, who carried all that baggage and all those issues that the team had previously in 2021. So I could see him taking another step this year. I think Jaguars win that division. And they've added Calvin Ridley now to that team.
I think the only question with the Jags this year is Travis Etienne.
Okay.
Just because he did, get injured last year. And it's just a question if he can stay healthy.
Yeah. Overall, I think they're a good team and they're built for the playoffs. I don't know how far they'll go once we get there, but I think they're a playoff team. I think they're winning this division, making the playoffs. I want to go to the North now. North is an interesting division. You got the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and the Steelers. So a lot of different ways you can go with that. I'm going to honor what I had prior to this week. I'm going to take the Browns at 4th at 8-9. I think they're a well-constructed team. I just think when you have the history that they have and you don't have an overhaul like the Lions have with Dan Campbell of totally flipping the culture on its head and trying to change things up, I think that's a challenge. And the other thing is your quarterback needs to be the leader of your team. And with Deshaun Watson and all the baggage that he carries, I'd say to have that guy as the leader of your team and the one who everybody kind of needs to look up to, as a leader is a challenge considering his history and the accusations against him and everything. So I'm not going to touch it any further than that, but I think that could hurt the Browns. I think their culture could hurt it. Still defense, super talented. They got Myles Garrett. They signed Elijah Moore from the Jets over the off season. So I think they improved. I think they're a good team. I just think they're in a competitive division, and that's why I have them at 4.
No, I get it. I still, even unbiased, I'd say without week 1, without week 1, I would have had them at 3. But I think with how week 1 went, I'm gonna bump them up to 2.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, we all knew Deshaun Watson was gonna be rusty last year.
Yeah.
But this year, I mean, in preseason he was doing pretty decent. And I don't know. He showed up in week 1. That's the only way to put it. He just, I mean, they cooked the Bengals. I mean, maybe Joey B threw for 80 yards, but still, they cooked them. And their offense was actually good. And I don't know. I'd put them, I'm not sure. I would maybe put their ceiling at 11-6.
Okay.
But I'd put their floor at 8-9.
I'd say, honestly, I don't feel secure enough about their building and their leadership. I could see dysfunction, so I'd put their floor at 6-11. Taking into account just where I'd be last week, but also I'd say for ceiling they could be good. I'd say 11-6 is where I have them, just because how competitive their division and the conference is as a whole.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, so what would you have at? So I think, I'm guessing you have the Steelers at 3.
Yes, I do. So the Steelers. Here's the thing. Every year, they used to have Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Bell, Levante Bell, that's his name? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I think it's Levon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell, thank you. That's the core that they had. But still, even after that, Mike Tomlin, one of the best coaches in the league, has not had a losing season, and every year I look at the team and I say, they just don't have as much talent. I feel like this will be the year, and somehow he manages to keep them above 500. I don't think they have a lot of talent on their roster. However, I do like George Pickens. I think he's a good wideout, and I think Kenny Pickett could be better than people think. I think he showed throughout the last 10 games or so at the end of last season that he's capable of being a good quarterback. So I have them at 9-8. Their division is competitive. They have some more talent there than they did, and just Mike Tomlin, I got them 9-8. I could see them going up to 10-7, but I think their range is pretty much 7-10 to 11-6.
That's fair. Personally, I think Kenny Pickett's gonna be improved this year, and I like Pickens. I think Najee's all right, but I just don't think they have the offense as the Browns. I mean, the Browns this year have Elijah, they have Murray, and they have Deshaun.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah, Nick Chubb. Think about that compared to Kenny Pickett, who's coming off a high and low season. George Pickens, who's I'm not going to say he's unproven because he's shown promise, but he's not solidified as a very solid wide receiver yet. I think he will be, but he's not completely solidified.
I think he will be as well.
And then they have Najee, who came off a big downturn efficiency. I'd put their floor at 8-9, but I personally think they're going to go 9-8, and I see their ceiling as maybe 10-7.
Okay. My argument for putting the Steelers above the Browns, defense and coaching.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
All right, moving on to number 2 for me. I got the Baltimore Ravens finishing out the season at 11-6. I remember them in 2019 being this powerhouse who had the 1 seed, and it looked like they were gonna run the table all the way to the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson with his MVP season then. And then Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans, coached by Mike Vrabel, just went in there to Baltimore and caused this huge upset. But ever since then, I felt like they've had a lot of potential to be a good team. And, J.K. Dobbins just found out that he's out for the season, which doesn't help them. But still, that wide receiver core is really good that they have right now, because they have a mix of veterans and youth with OBJ over there now, and they also drafted Zay Flowers out of Austin College this year. So I think their passing attack's going to help. They got Mark Andrews over there at tight end. It's a good team. Defense seems to always be good under Coach Harbaugh there. And then the other thing is, A.K. Dobbins will be out for the year, but let's keep it real. Lamar is just so good with his running that helps to deal with any loss that they have with the running attack, and somehow they just seem to find a way to recover that.
I mean, their running backs have never been a focal point of their offense. But I agree with you on the wide receiver core. I think they're underrated this year. OBJ is not the same as he used to be, but I think him being a veteran, he'll help teach someone like Zay Flowers to be a good wide receiver and help him learn quicker. I don't know where to put him exactly. I think I would put their floor at 8 and 9, but I think that's unlikely personally. I'd put their ceiling at 12 and 5.
I agree.
And I think they're going to be 9 and 8.
Okay.
Or 10 and 7. Actually, I think they're going to be 10 and 7. I'd rather put them at 10 and 7.
I think that's a fair statement. I personally have them at 11 and 6. Could very well see 10 and 7.
That's because I think the Browns be number 2. But
all right.
And then number 1, Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, Joe Burrow. I mean, they didn't have a good week this week. In spite of that, still taking that into account, I still think they're going to win the division.
Yeah, I mean they got one of the best 1, 2, 3 wide receiver cores. Like it's just not even close.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
What's his name? The wide receiver 3. 1 second. I gotta look him up. Didn't happen. Where is it? Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd.
I knew it was like a T, but he's also pretty. Yeah. He's pretty good at when Jamar was out. He showed up, and there, Joe Mixon. He's old, but he's
not that old.
No, he's not old, but he's getting there. He's for a running back. He's getting old.
Okay, that's a fair statement because their careers last like 3 or 4 years.
But he's definitely past like his year of prime, but he's still gonna be good. And
but yeah, he's still good.
I'm a little worried about their secondary, but I think their defense is still gonna be decent.
I agree. And their offensive line, we saw that they nearly won a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. Burrow got sacked a ton during that postseason. They still were one pass away from winning the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And since then, they upped the offensive line. So I got them at 12 and 5. I think their ceiling would be like 14 and 3. I think their floor would be 10 and 7. I just think that's a good team that they have constructed there.
I think they're... Honestly, I don't see them going anywhere but 11 and 6 and 12 and 5. Okay. I think those are their 2 options.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Okay, so
let's go to the West.
Okay, yeah, let's save the East for last because I want to talk about the East.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. So number 1, Chiefs.
Agreed.
Only reason I have beef with Andy Reid is because people say he's better than Belichick, which is a lie. But Andy Reid's a great coach. Mahomes is Mahomes. But the one thing I was thinking about is we saw this week. Actually, we shouldn't talk about the week. Okay, we're not talking.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
When we do our week 2 preview.
Oh, good. Yeah. Nice thinking. No, it would be a week 1 review and a week 2 preview.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll do that later this week.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, they have a pretty decent wide receiver core. Not great. Kelsey. He ain't the GOAT, but he's the
best receiver. He's the best tight end in the league right now.
Yeah, and he's the best. I think I'd put him number 2 for receiving tight ends of all time. I don't think he beats out Tony, but
okay.
But still,
I think Gronk was a better blocker
for receiving.
Yeah, for receiver
because he's basically a wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with that statement. Okay. I just think Gronk was better.
No, Gronk is absolutely better because Kelsey's basically a receiver. Gronk was a receiver and a big blocker, and he took 2 people with him. Yeah. Yeah. But that's another story. But I think that honestly their defense isn't great, but just you have Mahomes. Like that guy, he's like he's never gonna beat Tom Brady. Agreed. But he's I think by talent and creativity I think he's the best player.
Yeah.
of all time. Maybe not of all time, but he's definitely one of.
When he
like,
retires, he might be the most talented ever. I could very well see that happening.
I can see that happening.
There's a difference between most talented
being
of
the
all
GOAT.
time and the greatest of all time.
That's true. So I would put them. I put their floor at 11-6. I put their ceiling at 14-3.
Okay.
I'd say they're going 13-4.
All right. I have them at 13-4 as well. I put their ceiling at 14-3 as well. I think their floor, 12-5, 11-6 right there.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore, but they won a Super Bowl without him last year. But I still think that Juju Smith-Schuster, losing him is going to hurt more than they think.
Yeah, I think so.
And McCole Hardman as well. So
Yeah.
they lost both those guys.
Don't worry, they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, your favorite.
All right. So number 2 in the division, who you got?
I don't know. I was so set on the Chargers going into this before I could even. I'm not even talking about week 1,
Mhm.
but just thinking about it,
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I'm thinking Russ.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Okay, just for that, the Chargers are going number 2.
Okay.
So I mean, Justin Herbert, he's just such a great quarterback, and they have Keenan Allen. If he's healthy, he's good. Mike Williams he's solid.
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, Austin Eckler. Yeah, I mean he's
Defensively.
he's definitely not gonna have the TDs he had last year, but he's still gonna be good.
Defensively, Joey Bosa. They still got J.C. Jackson
You don't
recovering from
finish,
the.
bro.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you.
All
But
right.
no, I agree with you. Defense, J.C. Jackson, but he's not as good as he was in the past. He hasn't been.
Mhm.
Joey Bosa, he's all right, but I don't know.
Just all right.
Yeah. I'm just messing with you. Actually, I don't know why I said he was all right.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's really damn good. But I was gonna say their defense. I meant to say their defense is all right. It's like not great. It's not
Mhm.
as atrocious as it's been, but I don't see it being top 50% of the league.
Okay.
I see it being like 20th, something like that.
I agree with that. All right, so we both have them at 2. I have them at 9 and 8.
I have it 9-8 or 10-6. I think
Okay.
their ceiling is
10 and 7.
Yeah, my bad. 10-7. I was gonna say their ceiling is 11-6,
Mhm.
and I'd say their floor is 8-9.
Okay. I'd say their ceiling as well, 11 and 6. Their floor, I'd say about 8 and 9. I agree with you. I could see them going 7 and 10, so I'll say that. But I think we're about at the same point
Yeah.
with them.
Okay.
I just don't know about their coach Staley. I think Justin Herbert's an incredible talent. They have a
No.
lot of talent there, but I don't think the coach is the best.
He
so-
doesn't utilize Herbert.
Yeah.
But okay.
And they have a tough schedule as
Yeah.
well.
Third, the GOAT.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Please don't say that again. But the GOAT, so the Patriots, we love him. Russell Wilson. Yeah, I mean, I still love that guy. Can't believe that you feel that.
Yeah,
But you know what? That's a different topic.
Got 6 instead of 5.
Yeah. So, I think Russ is going to be better than he was last year.
Agreed.
I mean, we saw after what was his name? What was that goofy's name?
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, that dumbass. Nathaniel Hackett. Once he got the boot, they actually did really well, and not really well, but they did better than they did before. I think Javonte Williams is gonna be good back from his injury. I think Samaje, is that how you say his name?
I don't know.
Samaje Perine. He was on the Bengals last year. He's gonna be solid. I don't know. I just see their team being pretty solid this year. I think personally they could go 11-6, but I also could see them going 7-10.
Okay.
I have a big thing for them.
Okay. Wide range. Sean Payton, that hire was that was much needed for them. I think they're gonna be in the same boat as other teams like probably the Steelers, who have a better team, but because of a hard schedule, that doesn't always reflect 100%. I think the Broncos were 6-11 last year or something.
They were terrible.
Yeah, they were like 5-12 or 6-11. But I think they'll get a little bit better. I have them at 8-9.
That's fair.
I think their ceiling is 10-7. I think their floor is 7-10 because of the Sean Payton effect.
I agree. I'd have them at 9-8 personally.
Yep, that's what I have. And then Number 4, I think this is my prediction for one of the most disappointing teams in the AFC this year. I got the Raiders. I have them, actually, this could be a hot take, 4-13,
I'm a 5-12. I'm a 5-12. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't. Garoppolo. He's all right. That's the way to put him.
Yeah.
If they stay in the middle of the field, he can do it. But any crazy passes, he just doesn't have the raw talent. I think Devontae is still great, but I don't. He could be slipping a little bit. I don't know. He's not getting old, but he's getting older compared to some of the younger receivers like Chase and Jay Jettas. And I like Jacoby Myers. I think he'll be good. And I'm happy we don't have him on the pass anymore after that one play.
Yes.
I hate him for that. But I think I don't know. I think their offense would have the potential to really get going, but I don't see them doing it. I get they have Josh Jacobs, I guess, but still, I'd say their ceiling is 7-10. I'd say their floor is 4-13. I'd put them at 5-12.
Okay. I think the loss of Darren Waller is going to be felt a lot by that offense.
Think so?
Yes, I do. I think he was I think he's a top 5 tight end in the league. He is very good. Josh Jacobs I think it's a make or break year for him. He could be really good. He could get hurt. He could not be very, very good. I mean, Josh McDaniels, I have a lot of respect for him, especially after what he did here. But just his track record as a head coach in the NFL is not that good. I think him with Garoppolo will help because they have that experience of working together here in New England. So I think that could save them a little bit. But personally, part of it's a hard schedule. Part of it's a new quarterback. Part of that's losing your top star tight end. And part of it, I think, is one of the worst defenses in the NFL this year.
That's true. Yeah, so I think we're both on the same page there. Okay. Now we got to get to
this is the fun part.
This is the fun one. We can't take too long on this, Drew. We've already spent what has it been, like?
I don't know, half hour maybe.
Yeah, so we gotta like chill on this one because otherwise it's gonna be a while.
We're gonna talk about the teams, especially one team in this division, a lot this year. I think this is the most interesting division to watch this year, and I'm gonna make a claim here. In my lifetime, this is the first time in my entire life of watching football where I can say, heading into a season, I truly believe that the teams could finish any order in 1-4. You could argue that any team finishes anywhere in this division. You could argue somebody finishes first. You could also argue they finish fourth. I truly believe that.
Is this a clean channel? I just gotta ask.
We try to keep it clean overall.
So what I'm gonna say,
what
I'm gonna say is, number 1, Jets. F the Bills. I hate them. I hate them. I don't like them. They're if I could be biased here, I'd put them number 4, but I'd put Pats number 1, Bills number 4. But we're being real here. I'm putting Jets at number 1. I'm being actually, I think so.
All right, tell me about the New York Jets.
I mean, they got Ayahuasca Man. They got Garrett Wilson, who I think he's going to be a great wide receiver. Mm-hmm. I mean, they got Breece Hall. Sure, he's coming back from. Did he tear his ACL or did he blow up his knee? I don't know which one.
No, he was hurt, but he's still young.
No, yeah, he's still young, and a lot of running backs usually go through that. And Saquon did, and he's back. Like a lot of they usually do that at least once in their career.
Football players get hurt, Conrad. Thank you very much for that analysis.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, their defense is amazing this year. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a top 3 defense.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be as good as he used to be, but I don't think he has to. I think it's a situation of we've had past seasons where Tom hasn't played as amazing as we wanted, but the defense has carried us to the playoffs, and then he showed up in the playoffs and won a Super Bowl. Okay. I think it could be a similar situation to that. I'm not saying they're going to get a Super Bowl, but I'm saying that I think their defense will be able to let Aaron Rodgers slip up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'd put their... I can't believe I'm saying this. I'd put the Jets ceiling at 13-4.
I agree.
I'd say their floor, just because how just because of how like
How much can go wrong?
Yeah,
Let's
I put their
way.
floor at 9-8.
I could see that very well. I think we're about on the same page with that.
I think they're gonna go 12-5.
All right, here's what I have. I'll actually put they have so much talent. They have all the talent in the world. Don't get me wrong, but what can go wrong will go wrong. So it's possible that they go 8-9. And that's not saying that they don't have talent. They have a lot of talent, but they also have potential for a lot of drama. And I don't know, with all the personalities that they've brought into their building, with the challenging schedule they have, and I don't know about Robert Saleh. I've watched Hard Knocks, been impressed, but you don't know as a leader how he's going to handle the tough times now that there's expectations, because that's pressure. And the New York media is very relentless. So
And they're losing their mind. The Jets might actually be good this year.
So I have them in second at 11-6.
Okay. So I'm guessing you have the Bills at number 1.
I do. I also have the Bills going 11-6.
So I just have a disliking for the Bills. I know that's like I'm supposed to have that as a pass, but I just don't like Josh Allen. I don't like him. I get he's a good quarterback. I just don't like him. He's just as a person, I just don't like him. And also, I just think that the Bills have 3 players that run their team: Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs,
and Von Miller. Yeah.
Like literally, besides that, their team is working on half the cap space.
And Von Miller's out the first 4 games.
Yeah. And Josh Allen, he's gotten injured last year. He could get injured again. And I don't know, Stephon's just could happen, could not.
No, Jordan Poyer I want to recognize a little bit, because I think he's a pretty good player, and he's also a really good leader overall. So
that's true.
I'll acknowledge that. I think the Bills have a lot of talent. They have a tough schedule, and I'm picking them to win the division. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. My ceiling for them, their schedule is so tough. My ceiling for them is like 13-4, and that's best case scenario. Everything goes right. My floor for them, I'd say 8-9, because there's rumored to be drama between Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, and I think it might be true.
So what I think 8-9 is a little far. I would put their floor at 9-8, and 9-8
Okay.
if Stephon Diggs or Josh Allen gets injured.
Also, their schedule is super challenging.
No, I get that. Yeah.
So
yeah, no, definitely. But I would put that's why I would put their ceiling at, I think, 12-5. I'd see them going. I don't see them going 10-7. I'd see them maybe going 11-6. That's where I would like to put them. I'd like to put the Jets at 12-5 and the Bills at 11-6 personally. And then what are we gonna do with the last ones? I think it depends. I think
let's talk about the Dolphins.
I'm putting Dolphins at 3.
Okay.
I love my boy Mac, but I think the Dolphins will be at 3 unless Tyreek gets injured or Tua fries his brain again.
Okay.
Or like there's
Which very realistically could happen.
And Jalen Ramsey, he's injured. He could come back and not be the same. Like there's a lot that could go wrong here. And I mean they got Eli Apple. He could do Eli Apple things and throw another game. Like you really don't know what's gonna happen here. So but they just have so much talent. They got Waddle. I mean Tua's pretty damn good. And Tyreek is just Tyreek. So I just can't see their team, unless something goes wrong, I can't see their team being below the Pats. I'd say with how strong I think the division rivals are going to be, I'd say the Dolphins' ceiling is 10-7. I'd say their floor is 8-9. I see them going 9-8.
Okay. I'd say the Dolphins' ceiling is 12-5. I would say that their floor, this would be with a Tua injury, which I think could happen, would be 7-10, 8-9.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you think they're going to be 12-5 with the Jets and the Bills in their division?
You never know. Stuff can go wrong in New York. Stuff can go wrong in Buffalo. I could see. Here's my deal. With this division, there's a lot of talent throughout. And haters are going to sabotage me for this, but that's all right. I can say that the Patriots probably have the least amount of talent in the division. However, they still have a lot, and I think they have a lot more than people realize. When I look at the buildings, I look at, in Buffalo's a building, what could go wrong? There could be drama between two of your best players, between Diggs and Allen, and stuff goes bad down the stretch. Nobody knows how to deal with it. It falls apart. With the New York Jets, there could be issues with what's going on there and all the drama with Aaron Rodgers and everything. And, we had an expectation. New York media rips them apart. And with the Dolphins, there could be drama. I mean, Tua could get hurt. And Mike McDaniel, I don't know.
I think
he's good. I don't know they can handle tough situations. When there's one building that's proven that they can handle adversity, it's right there in Foxborough.
I think it's because Bill is gonna beat someone's ass if they start some drama. Like you don't mess with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at does that guy make you want to mess around with someone else? Like that guy. If you have beef, the moment Bill walks by, you stop it. That guy just, I don't know, he's an intimidating dude.
Yeah, listening to Julian Edelman on New Heights with the Kelsey brothers and hearing the stories about how Belichick would go after guys, I have confidence in that. No, I think Mac Jones is the most motivated player in the entire NFL right now.
Okay, yeah. But if we're just a quick chime in. I know we're not talking about week 1, but he did do really well in week 1. And before then, I would have expected he would have a rebound year now that he actually has an offensive coordinator who doesn't pass, run.
It's a screen pass. It's a run. It's a screen pass. It's not utilizing any of the talent you have. You had you have good tight ends.
No, but they utilized their talent on that on the flea flicker. Yeah, when they were
lateral.
My bad, not a flea flicker. A lateral when they were 3 points ahead with 7 seconds left. No, I don't think it was.
It was tied. If they were up, they would have taken a knee.
I swear they were points up.
Okay.
Wait, was it actually tied?
It was tied.
Okay. Yeah, I always thought it. Wait, really?
Yeah.
I swear. Okay, never mind. I'm probably wrong here. But even then, that was a horrible play.
Yes.
But that's besides the fact. So,
Jacoby Myers is gone now.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, all right, Dolphins, we already talked about. Patriots, their receiving core with Demario Douglas and Keyshawn Butte, I think, adds a lot of depth. I think Juju Smith-Schuster's hands aren't as good as Jacoby Myers. However, he's more explosive, and that's more what the Patriots offense needs. I think both Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry are very underrated. I think they're 2 of the top, 8 tight ends in the league, top 10, top 8.
I don't know about that.
I do. I really do.
Okay.
I think they have a lot of players on that roster who might not be the best at who you can't argue are the best at their position, with the exception of Matthew Judon. But I think everybody else, there's a lot of guys on that roster who you could argue are in the top 25 to 30% of players at their respective positions.
That's fair. So where do you have them? I have their ceiling at, given the strength of the division, I have their ceiling at 10-7. I'd have their floor at 7-10.
I have their ceiling at 11-6. I have their floor at 8-9.
So yeah, we're kind of similar. I'd put them, based on the prediction I've given for this video, I'd put them at 8-9. But I would not be surprised at all if they go 9-8.
Okay. Keep in mind, injuries can change everything. I love my team, and I know everybody accuses me of being biased. However, I said last year they were going to win 8 or 9 games and miss the playoffs. And so I said that. I said that the offense wasn't going to be as good. And I think this team, the lens I look at it through is a lot like the 2021 team that went 10-7, made the playoffs, but got destroyed by Buffalo. They had a lot of holes, and I feel like they've patched those up. I think Mack is better. I think Kendrick Bourne. I said this prior to the first game. I think he is a very good receiver, and there was a lot of teams calling for him about trades, and Bill Belichick wanted to hold on to him, which says something. And just seeing the potential he has in this
Kendrick
chemistry.
Bourne in the waiver wire?
I might have.
I picked him up before you. I know for a fact that I picked him up the moment the game.
I looked at him. So I was thinking about drafting him in the last round. Anyway, besides the point, my playoff teams, besides the division winners, I got Baltimore, I got the Jets, and I got the Patriots going back to the playoffs this year, and I'm very excited
Wait, you're
about
missing
that.
one division. I have the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs, the Jets.
Besides division winners, these are my
Oh,
wild
sorry.
cards.
Is that what you said?
So, yeah,
Okay.
so our division winners are the
Chiefs, Jets,
Chiefs.
Jets, Bengals, Jaguars. I would have the
And I have
wild
Bills,
cards.
he is, yeah.
I would have the wild
Jets.
cards be the Bills.
And then you got two more.
I'd say. I don't think the Patriots gonna make it. I'd say Bills, Browns, Ravens.
Okay.
And and then what would you say wins the AFC this year?
I'm sticking to my guns. I think it's wide open. I think there's a lot of teams. I think Kansas City is still really good, but they're not as strong as they used to be. I think Buffalo's good. They're not as strong as they used to be. And I think so I just feel like that opens things up for other teams, but I feel like Baltimore, I'm ultimately picking the Bengals to win the AFC, but I also feel like Baltimore, Baltimore, Jacksonville, things open up, and if you get in, you get in. And so you never know what can happen, but Patriots and Dolphins, if they get in, you never know. And I feel like in the past it was, if you get the 6th seed, you're just out the door right away. You're on the road in the first round and you're just done for. I feel like there's a lot more talent, and I feel like it's a lot more spread out, so it's not as much stacked at the top compared to the NFC, where it's the Eagles and the 49ers.
I agree with you. I think I hate to be the bandwagon. I just think the Bengals are gonna win it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we both have Bengals, Niners.
Yes, sir. I'm putting. I don't really know. I like both those teams. I'm not gonna make a definitive.
Losers in the
choice on
conference
it.
championship last year.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I mean,
All right.
all right. So I think we're about the same spot, but we'll keep doing this every week and recapping games and moving on to the games.
So
of
this
next week.
this weekend we're hoping to get out a week 1 review and then a week 2 preview.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a little shorter than these, maybe like
for
15, 20 minutes.
For sure.
Because these are long. Let's be real here. Because we got to talk
about all the teams in a conference where we're just talking about games.
All right.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.
All right.